Hello and welcome everybody, I'm your humble host, Gavin the Kitty, and what you just listened to was some music from MegaMan Battle Network Transmission. No, that's not the normal pick, but so be it. But today we're playing Mega Man ZX. Tomorrow, Presto is going to be out for an entire stream, so for all intents and purposes, I'll technically be there, but not if chat stays civil. And today is, well, today should be a fun time. I figured people would be in by now. So be it. October is always a weird time, right? So, last we left off, there was an attack on the ship at Guardian HQ. So let's go take care of that, shall we? It's all about getting back into the feel of things. So, we're gonna get a lot of cutscene, a lot of lore drops today. Should be a fun time. Of course, I messed up yesterday and nobody corrected me, and that was a little stupid. I thought Sonic Superstars came out yesterday. I was misremembering the date. We have 5 days left before that game comes out. If the enemy boards us, we're done for. And what do they try to do? Board us. So Slither Inc. is going for the direct attack approach because now we have more of the keys to get the Model W. So, all hands on deck. To the deck we go. My assumption was they were building the robots the minute they land. They're tearing up the top of the ship, by the way. I don't know if it ever goes back to normal. I'd have to presume it does. But Model ZX might not be our best bet. We might have to go to Model PX. And here's another remastered cutscene. Man, these look cool. Just like that, we got Prometheus and Pandora both entering the Guardian HQ. And our main goal is to stop these hooligans from fighting. And here's our first major difference with playing through as Vent or Ale. So, luckily they've locked all the gates, but not going to stop me from trying and checking on people. I'd ask how chat's doing, but nobody's here yet, so... Oh no, the toy. Ooh, that's always super dangerous, right? Just a random hole in the bottom of a flying ship. They're trying to stop them from getting close to the reactor, because the closer they are to the reactor, the more likely the ship will fall. Hey, look. Hello, Foxino. You are the first person in chat today. My first viewer for today. Usually people are in by about minute 3, but... Oh. Higher intro. I've been talking to myself pretty much the whole first part here. So, here's our first major difference. Depending on who you play as, determines the boss fight here. I believe since we are playing as Vent, I believe we get Pandora? No, Prometheus. Speaking of Prometheus, he was one of the characters that was planned for X-Dive and didn't make it in. However, they're debating doing DLC because the game's doing pretty good. Hello, Demon Dog! Welcome! Good to see all of you here. Sorry you couldn't watch live yesterday with with the Graveyard, but I'm glad you enjoyed it. And we took down Prometheus. That's not going to be the only time we fight him. There is another fight later on, and there's a fight with him and Pandora. You've been up since yesterday morning? Oh my gosh, you need to go to bed. I stayed up last night too, but eventually I passed out. After today's stream, I am definitely going to have to take a small break. Can't too late now. I've done that before too. So that's the major crisis taken care of. And there's where we go. We get to find out that, yeah, she absolutely is the little girl from Mega Man 0. Back at it again, because the game's got to get lighter eventually, right? When you have to twist. Yeah, well, I mean, I lived that one with you. Alright. Finish upgrading Model H. Check database. Boss. Oh. I am hitting all of the wrong buttons today. Check database. Go across. There we go. Alright, now we can continue. You do all your best work sleep deprived. I wouldn't say you do all your best work sleep deprived, but you do a lot of it sleep deprived. And I must say, I think, you know, from working on Blue with you, I would definitely say you do a lot of really cool work while you're sleep deprived. I don't think I do very well, but, you know. I feel like most of my best work is here on the channel. Actually, after today's stream, we are going to be... I'm going to be doing a small recording with the YouTube channel Flashing Blades to work out a little cameo in one of my upcoming videos for this month. So, that should be fun. So, which one are we doing? Find the survivors or fight the Mavericks? First one to be said is the first one we do. Now's the moment where I should probably say I'd recommend dropping a like and ringing the bell for notifications, because doing the whole spam links everywhere before a stream is tiring. Well, chat whenever you guys want. Just pick one. That's the way we've been doing it the whole time so far. Find the survivors or fight the Mavericks? Anybody? We'll have to do both eventually, so it doesn't really matter which one you pick, but makes the content more personable for the audience. Alright. Well, how has chat been going? Fox, how have you been doing? I suppose I'll just find the survivors. Area F. Just double check here. You been okay? Well, that's good at least. Looks like our nearest way is A2. Then we want to follow it down and to the right, so probably through here. Bottom path here. Okay, upper path, sorry. B1, okay, and then B3. Should be okay to move through here. So, for those wondering what the Metroid problem is, I shall explain. A Metroid problem is when, and I have come up with this definition, you're trying to figure out how to get to an area with your current moveset, determining you can't, and then having to turn around and try again. And that is a lot of what we are going to have today, just because a lot of it is, how do I get to Area F without having problems? And that is all today's that is today's big old problem. It's just, I love being able to do the air dash upwards. It gets cooler when we play as the actual Model H in ZX Advent, or at least a close approximation to it. What? Well, that's the wrong way. What? What? I am confused. Oh, ZX. Never change, never change. My map skills just keep getting worse. Okay, that put me in B4. Perhaps it's in one of these. Sorry for clearing my throat, folks. It's been a early morning. There we go. That's my bad. So it looks like we're going after Model L, which is Model Leviathan. Not to worry, though. Should be a grand old time. I love the music here. This is another one I wish they would have gotten a remix for. Another time where I wish they would have just said, heck it, high quality music throughout the whole game. Replace these tracks with the original recordings instead. Never forget, humans can crawl. Now, some ice walls we're not going to be able to, some ice walls we're not going to be able to take care of. And for this area, Model Arpuya is not going to cut it. One of the chosen titles for today's video, I had to change it because it looked way too much like Help ZX, and I was like, that is not a good title. I was like, what the heck is a Model HP? Like, no matter how I turned it, it just didn't look right. And I was like, alright, we're not doing that. So, early video titles. I am running out of ideas for titles, for streams, for all sorts of things. I'm just out of ideas. Which is good for you guys, because it means I'll be asking you guys what you guys want to see a lot more. Granted, I also know that that could end pretty poorly. I love the look of this area. When we look outward, we can just see the debris of war. It shows the destruction that happened all throughout the previous games. It's rather interesting how it looks. No reply. So some device is emitting a signal. We came here to try to help them. No response, so... Model PX on the move. This is actually one of those easier missions that I don't mind as much. Plus, this area is so interesting. I don't know. Put me on the big TV. Honestly, I think my streams look better on larger screens. Granted, I do also use ridiculously high-quality assets for my stuff, so it's one of those things where it's like, yeah, it probably does look a lot better. Like, my VTuber model is 4K, and well, it's built in with the 4K assets of the background and stuff. Granted, I was thinking about redoing it recently, just to give it a little refresh. Of course, the ultimate goal is to eventually get a 3D model made by somebody who's not me. Because I suck at making 3D models. I can guarantee you that. Like, I'm not terrible, but I'm pretty bad. I'm out of practice, you could say. And you could say that because I actually did do 3D model work. There are just some skills that I just don't enjoy doing quite as much. Alright, we gotta fight this guy again from yesterday. Here we go. Alright. Nice, well thank you. Hello to the third person who just joined not too long ago. And as you can see, this scientist looks suspiciously like CL. Torturing your fiance with memes. Nice. Truman does that to me from time to time. He'll just send me memes. So we just found a data disk. Now we know a little bit more about biometals, why they were created. Or at least how they were created. So they were created using the data of defeated Reploids and anything close to the crash site, so... Our next challenge is to get back to the start of this room and get into a now unlocked door. This one, to be precise. And try to find more information. Underwater movement isn't bad in MegaMan. You generally have a higher jump. However, Model H is going to make Model L is going to make that even easier in a moment, thanks to the unique abilities she has underwater. So like that data disk we absolutely cannot get, and even with Model H, the air dash isn't of much use outside the water. So prepare yourself for a fight as we try to get more info. So, Laurier? I don't even know how to say her name, because it's French. But, you can see her weakness is her head, so try not to hit the head. The large fish over there is technically the body. And she beat me. Well, that's alright. You have save points. Usually when you die in these games, you end up all the way back at your last save, but for here, we don't have to worry about that. We get the save points enabled. You can enable them on top of casual mode, but you also don't have them both together, which is nice. Luckily, now that we actually know how to beat it. Yeah, when you hit the head, books it right for you. Level 2 victory, so we're not going to have a whole lot of energy with them, but we can level them up back to where they were. In speedruns, it's actually better to not damage the biometals at all, believe it or not. At least with some of them. Some others aren't quite as... It's not quite as a big deal if you damage them. And now we have Model L. Her big thing is, 1, you get to see the secrets. 2, when you dash in water, you can now then move around however you want, and even then dash beyond that. We have this rounded spear attack. We also have this slash. And here in just a second, we can show you what is actually useful about her. Turned in data disk. I'm gonna go ahead and save it real quick before we start anything else. So, fight the Mavericks or recover the disc. That is up to chat. First one to say it is the one we do. Either or here. An office district in Area G is under heavy fire from Mavericks. There are several Guardians in the area, but they are calling for backup. I'm also detecting a presence of a biometal signature along with the Mavericks. At Area G. And then recover the disc. Report about a Guardian retcon unit data disk intercepted. And the word is that the Slithered Ink unit that has it is on the move. The enemy is transporting it to a tunnel deep under the sea in Area J. So, those are our 2 missions. First one to say something is the one we do. See, I figured starting... Well, for now, I can head back, actually, and get some of the secrets we missed here. While Chad is deciding what's up with what we do. Some of these are going to be secret holes that we can enter. There's some side quests and stuff here. We might do some of them if you guys want to see me attempt those side quests. Some of them are actually really cool, but... So which mission are we doing, chat? Anything? I really hope people show up tomorrow. Well, I guess we'll recover the disc. Or actually... yeah, we'll recover the disc. Area J. I'm assuming Area J is over this direction. I presume. Back towards A1 and then up. Leviathan can also create a serpentine creature to attack enemies and an ice platform, like this one right here. It'll melt after a short period of time, but it'll also float on water. And if it's at the bottom of water, it's ice. It'll float. So, should be easy peasy for us. That's A3. Get the checkpoint there. Grab this data disc. They only seem to care if you're a Reploid. A little creepy. Alright. This is usually the last mission I end up doing, so I figured why not do it out of order a little bit. We might end up going a little bit longer. Also, we did get the blue key for doing Leviathan. Luckily, with these second missions, they require you to even do these missions. You need to have the biometal. So that's how they do their difficulty balancing here is, well, we have this second set. Also, you can just double tap jump to stay in place, but still get to that hover state. These shrimps are very similar to ones found in MegaMan 2. There's another one of their life ups. We're gonna need 2 more of those, I believe. Luckily, the missions aren't too much of a pain, so I actually think that between this and the Zero games, I actually find myself enjoying ZX more. Of course, it does have deeper undertones, but its lighter exterior helps me to just enjoy it a little bit more. Also, that effect is always so cool. The parallax right there, oh, just gorgeous. I would love to see Legends given the Legacy Collection treatment next. Honestly, this or that or Star Force, because this DS emulation is really, really well done. You may notice this looks very, very similar, at least underneath there. Some of the things we saw in MegaMan 04. Alright. There's always a few ways to get this data disk, but never that big of a deal. But yeah, this does look a lot like the laser. And some of the dead machines are still operational, apparently. There's that platform in action. Let's just get things how far at. Very low. You still hear your promise? Okay. I know you are. We're not having a whole lot of stuff happening in chat, and I'm not sure what exactly everybody wants to know about. Usually I'd have a co-host to keep conversation going. However, everybody seems to be busy. Which is usually what happens. Everybody's on for a little bit, everybody's off for a little bit. Luckily, I think tomorrow's thumbnail will be quite good at dragging people in. Especially because I'm gonna have to set up the camera tomorrow, so tonight I'm gonna be doing that, setting up my fancy 4K camera for tomorrow's stream, and it might stay up if you guys really want to see. Oh, hey, Liam. Piled schoolwork. How have you been? I have been okay. Today I'm feeling a bit nasally, but we're doing okay. We're surviving, making it through. But I've been doing alright. Hope you're doing good. Am I excited for MFF? Absolutely. I'm also terrified. So, seeing as it's likely going to be that I just have Presto with me again. So, I'm a bit terrified just because, on account of how much things have changed since last time I've been, I don't know who all I'm going to be hanging out with. Usually it's Truman, but this time around I don't really have him to pal around with. I believe the, yeah, it's the big turbines. So, another level 2 victory, so we did not do very well there. Well, hey, me and you can hang around together. We can do something. Heck if I know. So that just said Purple has been found in area... in its boss area. So bosses do respawn. His name is Serpent. He was always one of the most interested in the Model W fragment. It's not a full thing. The Model W is this giant part of Dr. Wile's canon from 200 years prior. Probably gonna have fun, have just Luz. Oh, damn. I'm sorry. Yeah, we're not too happy about just having Presto, but we're gonna deal with it. There's no need to pressure anybody into finishing any suits anytime soon. I'll deal with it when it's finished. I'll deal with it, but for now. For now, it doesn't really matter. I am still going to make a video over getting the suit. However, all names will be removed. And I'm not... Because I don't want to harm anyone's business for... Just because, oh, the suit wasn't done when it said it was going to be done. It was like, well, nothing's ever done when it's supposed to be done on my end, really. Or, well, most things are, but we'll put a pin in that. Most things that aren't dependent on other people usually are. Usually the minute I have the need to get help from somebody else, it interferes with their life, and it's like, oh, okay, well, we're not doing that again, are we? Alright, head back this direction. This area is so neat. Also, there's always reasons to come back to areas with your new powers. Because you can just come to the end here, latch onto this, and it'll take you even further than the previous ones. Sorry about the beeping here. Back to not feeling it nasally and busy with schoolwork and drawing. Something I do on the weekend. Well, I don't think I'll feel like this forever, but it is definitely one of those things where it's like, I do not like feeling like this. There's that dragon, by the way. It'll auto home in on enemies, so. I'm debating between making this a full 100% playthrough where I do every side quest and everything. Turned in the data disk. They're sending her soon. Oh, nice. Yeah, next week we're sending over, I think, another 100 to help pay off Red. I am very anxious about MFF this year, just mostly due to the fact that I have no idea who I'm going to be running into. Chat, who all is going to MFF aside from me and Demon Dog? Here, description, off in Area G. Oh. Yeah, no. The plan is each paycheck to send you over a bit more of the payment for Red. We want to try to have him fully paid off before MFF, but no rush on getting him done, of course. Red is a perfectionist, so... And if he's anything like a perfectionist with us that he is with you, with everybody else, there is a bit of leeway, but perfection is the goal. Get it looking as good as you can. time is irrelevant in the guise of quality. Human may not be able, human form may not be able to jump as high, but it'll at least keep you out of that. And up here is Area M. I want to show this off. You may notice this is the gate. It's got H, P, L, X, and Z. Almost like it requires all the biometal signatures to open. I don't know what MFF is. I assume it's a furry thing. It is another furry convention, much like Anthrocon. It's Midwest Fur Fest. It's held up in Chicago at the Rosemont, up in Rosemont, Illinois. It's really fun. It's the largest convention. I go every single year, or I have been since 2018, and I usually have a great time, and I never know what's gonna happen. I go with the plan to film, I go with a plan to have fun, and I do my best to keep the vibes and energy going. But I also understand that a lot of people are there to, you know, just hang out, have fun. It's also right around the end of November, start of December, so it's always got like these Christmassy vibes, and it puts me in the holiday mood when I go. So, I believe you need fire for that. We're about to go get the fire. Oh. Want the data disk. May not be 100% run, but I am going to make it as close to cool as possible. The Knight's Horde, welcome. What is the con again? Midwest Fur Fest. I will be there the entire time, hanging out in Presto. And if my main suit is done by then congrats, you'll get to see me without, you know, seeing me. But, no. I'll be going around as Presto and that, for the con. Hopefully it should be a good time. Hopefully nobody starts screaming at me for some reason. And hopefully maybe, if I'm lucky, I'll get to go to some room parties or something. I've been meeting a lot of interesting people as of late, so... Granted, I suppose I am also a rather unknown furry for most people. But I also know that most of my friend group doesn't care if I'm there or not, so... When I had friends in high school, a lot of them were like pressuring me to hang out with them and stuff. And while it's nice to not have any pressure sometimes, for some reason with me, I really like having the pressure of my friends like telling me that I should do something or go somewhere. I don't know why. It's just it's an interesting feeling. It's one of those like, that's probably not healthy. Absolutely not. But it's definitely like, it feels good. It feels like I'm wanted to, like I'm wanted to be there. Which is not something I can say that I have felt in a very long time. Anytime my friends are like, better come, better show the fuck up, that is always a good feeling to me. I don't know why. Yeah, I know. That's alright, Demon Dog. It'll be good. It'll be all good. It should be a grand old time. Alright, Area G. This is the mission I thought we were doing earlier. This area's music's not bad, but Since we've already been through a majority of this. There we go. So, humans don't want to see a biometal. So our main goal is to get to them, swap over, free them. Nothing there, just a tiny little alcove. Maybe there's something there later. We'll try to stick in model H, because it's got the niceties to help out with this mission. I do plan on suit parent at some point. Having dinner with Sammy would be actually really nice. I should have a good amount of money by the time we go to it, but I also have to remember that E-Crystal. But yeah, no, dinner at Sammy sounds like a grand time. I always have fun hanging out with him, so. Or usually I have fun hanging out. I think there's been only about one time where I didn't feel real comfortable. And it was just because there was so many other people around. You can enter these windows. If there was a remake of this game, I'd love the right stick to switch the biometals instead of this menu system. Like, keep it for sure, but anybody in armor, by the way, you can talk to them without it because they know that you're part of their team. Oh. Well, I'm sure they're great. There's a lot of great people in the furry fandom. I thoroughly enjoy my time in the fandom. However, I also know that my time in the fandom is very different to most. So he took some of the captives away. Door. Cool. So I mentioned last time that little triangle up there signifies that they're a Reploid. But Reploids can't tell the difference between a harmful Reploid and a non-harmful one, and one of them that looked kind of like us is in this building, terrorizing the people. So that's why the people here are not really too receptive to us in the biometal form. You gotta go human to see. On the final part of this, we will be doing a poll to see which character in ZX we will be playing as. Ash and Gray have vastly different changes to them. Enough to where I could probably do 2 playthroughs, honestly. Ingo Fursuit Pokemon. Neat. I just have me and Presto. I was actually thinking about redoing Presto's ears. Make them look a little nicer. Alright, floor 8 is open, although... I'm curious. Did we also unlock the basement floor? Nope. I think the presumption is that that's where they're keeping everybody. As you can see, everything's reversed and flipped here, so we're nice and we're heading the opposite way to go the way we want to go. You can also just air dash across if you know how to use Harkuya properly. Which it isn't too hard to, but I'm also not really feeling the flow today. If anybody knows where I stole that from, good for you. Drop a like. I'm not kidding, by the way. If you know where I stole the line, feel the flow from, good for you. Can't get in there yet, because we need Model H to do so. Like I said, there's always reasons to come back to these areas and explore. Data discs, hidden, side questy style stuff. A lot of my favorite side quests, though, are from ZX Advent, not ZX as a whole. And something that the sequel does a lot better is the side quests. Alright. How is the chat going? Everybody doing okay? This is Fisleo. See, they mangled this business building. So I think we cannot hit the base. Yep. Which is gonna be a problem because he's pretty much all face. Luckily, I have no qualms in beating this one. There is level 2 victory, but better than a level 1. That's basically hitting the biometal the entire time. You're out for payback. I'm your model. Model F, like, doesn't even want to know the details. He's just like, let's go! And that's even more of a showcase that, yeah. So, Model F has 2 busters. As you can see, we have a different animation for each. I mean, up to 4 shots of each on screen. However, we can also change the way the bullets go. So that's always a good thing to know here. Its charge ability punches a wall. And we don't really need a whole lot. We don't need the weapon energy to just do the punchy bit that destroys blocks. We do need the weapon energy to shoot fire out of these shots. Red card key. So now we can enter red doors. Our final mission is attack the excavators. Area K. So. We're gonna take the mission. We're gonna get our butt moving. The nice part is that at the end of, I think the end of this week? No, Tuesday of next week, we've got Sonic Superstars coming out, and then the end of that week we have Mario Wonder. So it's not going to be too hard for us to make a move on. While the enemies that shoot fire are all still here. See there? Can also hold 2 charges of this, so... And the more repaired the biometal is, the longer we can make these shots, by the way. Although I'm not much worried about it at the moment. At the moment. Oh, we're only an hour in, which is fantastic for me, because... that means now I can actually do my 1 chill out for today. So, if you guys haven't yet, please drop a like and subscribe. Those 2 acts right there help the channel grow. And you ring the bell, you'll get notified to when I go live or when new videos go up, which is all the time. So please stick around, subscribe, do all that stuff. And just like that, we got the dog out of the building. It is the one thing that you can actually skip when doing that mission. Don't skip it. Save the dog. Am I late? Yes, but hey, you made it. Don't look at it as, oh, I'm late. Look at it as, oh, I made it. He's still playing. He's still got like an hour or 2 left before he has to finish up. Actually, speaking of finishing up, I need to take a look. Okay, looks like we're doing okay. On time. So for those who don't know, I mentioned it earlier. I'm doing a recording session later today with Flashing Blades, the other YouTube, a YouTube channel that frequents my channel quite a bit. I've had him on before. We're doing a little skit for Oktobermania. Which is what this is right here. Oktobermania is where I stream a bunch of Metroidvania, Castlevania style games. Tomorrow is going to be very interesting because you'll see a camera on me. Actually got to get clothes picked out, do my laundry and stuff. Make sure I'm looking nice. Because the one shirt I want to wear is still dirty. I'm also going to be wearing my hand paws while playing. Just to show you guys some more cool stuff about my fursuit that I go on about in comments, but I never actually, like, show people. Alright, so we need to go to Area K. I think the best way to do that is probably to go to Area... It can't be B3, can it? I'm assuming it's through B3. So I'm gonna go B. No, wait. Wouldn't it be through? I'm gonna go to the city and check it out. See if we can get any side quests as well, because I don't want to just finish the game today. The Ring. A cold pearl from a lake. As you can guess from the name, it's going to be in a cold lake. Could you find it and bring it back? So, there is a submission. That little noise you found means that we have found a side quest. So here's the keycard items, you can see. And then... oh, where is it? Anyways, you can go the whole game without knowing that there's side quests and other stuff to do. Which is crazy. Alright, so... being able to check out the city, though, like this is still really cool. I actually really love the world building that this brings to the game. Being able to interact with the other people and whatnot in MegaMan is really cool. Because a lot of people are like, we don't see humans in MegaMan, but it's like, no, we see them all over the place. It's just you're not looking at them. Like, Vent and Ale are humans. Some of the townspeople are humans. Not a lot of them, but some of them are. And, you know. Alright. Looking for another quest here. Go and check on him. There's another side quest. That card up in the corner means that we're on a main quest, but the side quests really aren't notified. It's just kind of, they exist, which is why ZX Advent does them a little bit better, because you can actually see them when you get them. No need to fret over, oh, am I in a side quest or not? So, a lot of people are getting disillusioned with Slither Inc. and their tactics. You can watch them in the city as things happen. You'll hear people's opinions change. his quiz out. What's that subreddit? Like, I am 14 and this is deep or something like that? Even though, like, everything in there is not deep at all. That was basically that kid. Cannot convince me otherwise. I believe it prioritizes quests above small talk, so I don't think I have to worry too much about, if I'm one or the other. How's chat holding up? Everybody doing okay? I know I haven't really had a whole lot to say this evening, but there's not a whole lot to explain. There's a lot of cool stuff to talk about, though, but we went over a majority of it. Miracle flower in the forest, or like to have it. There's another one. Crawling under this truck is slow, but you do get E-crystals underneath that first tire there. I believe this little girl gives you a side quest later on. And here we have 2 of the sub-games. We'll come back and do this, do these when we unlock them all. If we unlock them all, I should say, because some of them have some weird requirements. Data room. We'll get back to the main mission in just a bit. Don't worry. I know that these aren't the most interesting areas. Down we go. Alright. With all of that figured out, though, we'll talk to just about everybody in the city. Minus, C3. Love that you can dash jump, then air dash. I had a question for Red. There's a cool fur technique
that if I could certain way the fur looks like scales, would he be interested in that?
I'll ask him when he's up. Seeing as at the moment he's not awake. I believe there's something you can do with that later. Oh, right, you can drain the fountain. So when you drain the fountain, you can come underneath the fountain. Seems pointless, and then you realize there's a room down here. With another transporter! So, that can actually be very, very helpful. Alright, so our next area is going to be Area K. Did I... There's one area in Area I we missed, but we'll come back for it. I don't think you connect through J. I do believe it's... I think it's through Area E. E7. Okay. Maybe it's not through Area E. We'll head back this direction and hopefully I can remember where. We're just looking for a red door. Luckily, remembering what keycards you have. The thing about Red is he's not too worried about whether or not his suit looks like scales. He's meant to look like a fluffy dragon, not so much a realistic one. None of us really care for realism in fursuits. So I think that's a key component to remember is we like this cartoony anime style. So realistic is never one of the things we look for in suits. In fact, it turns us away from suits usually. If there is a suit that's got any amount of realism in it, usually we're like, whatever. You went for a thing and it worked, I guess. Yep, it's over here. On to the next mission. So, like, realism in fursuits, I suppose I should say. Realism is cool. Like, it's tough to achieve in the moment, but I don't think that it's something that we should strive for. Actually, it's a decision that relates back to video games, in some of my opinions. Realism should never be the goal in like a video game art style. I've heard a lot of really bad game decisions in the gaming sphere before, but one of the worst that I've ever heard had to do with art style. Somebody, you know, games look the way they do because it's a conscious decision, a conscious choice for why they look the way they do. right? Things like the Wind Waker have that art style, and it ages so much better than any realism. Like, if you look at Twilight Princess and Wind Waker still looks good on the original GameCube. Meanwhile, Twilight Princess, you've got to go the HD upscaled route for the Wii U version for it to look as good. Not to say those games are bad, but inherently it's the same series, so it's the same set of characters and stuff, but they look different. And yes, I know Link is technically a different Link each time, but still, what I'm saying is art style is an important factor that goes into game design that we also need to consider when making fursuits or designing a character. And while, yeah, you can make my characters look super realistic, it's gonna look cool, but that's also ignoring the art style decisions that went into making my characters look the way they do. And that's something that I don't think as many people have put thought into. I knew somebody who would only make realistic fursuits. They wouldn't touch a color that wasn't brown, black, or gray. They would not touch anything with color. And I wanted him to originally make my suit, and he said no. And at first I thought it was silly. It's like, okay, so you know what you want to do with it. But what he wanted to do with it was just take the art style out of artistry. Which I think is dumb, silly, bit stupid. Also, there's our mini-boss for this. He's been controlling the lava in this area. So while I do think realism is cool, it should not be the main factor that goes into designing or creating a fursuit. Because inherently, you go too far in one direction, it doesn't look great. You go too far in the realism direction, you get this uncanny valley feeling about it. And that's just it. With the realism, you have to have a very high standard of quality in your stuff. But you should have a high standard of quality regardless. But what I'm saying is, essentially, if you're going to go realistic with fursuits, never go too far in one direction and know your limitations before you jump into realism. Anybody can make a fursuit, but if you're going to go the realistic route, know what you're looking at, know what you're doing, because any small mistake can be pointed out and shoved back at you way easier than something cartoony. It doesn't take a genius to recognize when the eyes look off on something. And I think that's something that's really forgotten by a lot of people when they try to go the realistic route. But hey, what do I know? I'm an amateur fursuit maker at best. But art style is also why I don't ever want to really go for the major... the people who do major fursuit stuff in the fandom. Because to me, it's backwards and silly, right? I went with an art style, I want to stick with that art style. And if they're just gonna use their eye style, it's like, eh. Granted, I do understand the point of bringing in other makers and stuff into stuff. Alright, so we came back out here to do the lava control system. I'm probably sounding like a lunatic right now. So sorry if sorry if I do sound like a lunatic. I'm just talking about art style and whatnot, and it's something that I know that some makers respect and others just toss out the window. And I'm not entirely sure why. I'd love if chat could put some input on art style and stuff, though. Because art style doesn't need a whole lot to... Art style isn't something... It is always going to be somewhat of a preference thing for a lot of people. What am I doing? Where am I going? Okay. Back into the pit. Past the mini-boss. Right back here. So lava control is now set to low. And it should make it easier to get through some of these sections. So that changes the speed of this thing. The first couple times I've ever done this stage, I did normal. I didn't know you could change change it. But art style is interesting. When choosing a fursuit maker, always consider their art style and how it works with your art style. If you're an artist, or for what you're going with. Which, that was some of the decision making that went behind me choosing Demon Dog for Red, Gorel. Red choosing... it's weird with the... Words don't work. That's part of why I went with Demon Dog for suit making, was I saw how her art style meshed with my art style, and I think hers is cute, especially in suit making, and it fits with mine rather well. Alright. We have made it to Flame Mole, and we've done the fast route, by the way. You do need to have the slow lava movement for this. We don't want to hit his... Level 2 victory. We're just getting a bunch of level 2s today. that, we have now got Model F back to where we want it. Or, well, partially where we want it. Alright, and these are the side quests that we have so far. So, to start with, we will find the pearl. We'll go to Area F in the lake. So we now have all the forms that we're going to go through most of the game with. There are 2 other secret forms that we can get. Model X from the beginning of the game, which is actually incredibly powerful. Although, once again, it is a secret unlock and not something intended. It's one of those, like, oh, you have to play the game on a certain difficulty and beat it. Beat this, beat that. And another thing, another one of the models is Model Omega, which is Omega from the from the ending of Mega Man 0. Definitely very powerful, also very difficult to get, and it'll be a difficult boss fight when and if we get to it. So there's our first clam. Nothing yet. Here's the secret. Right there. Nothing in that one. Here's another life up. So in the lake here, no, we cannot get the pearl before accepting the request, by the way. Nothing there. Alright. But yeah, I feel art style should be a conscious decision, and I think Mega Man ZX is one of those art styles that evolves the Mega Man art style in such a way that it really does shape how this series looked for a number of years. In a, I think, some of the best way possible. Now I just feel like I'm just a jerk. Well, it's alright. Alright. We're gonna re-enter here. You notice our items, we don't have the pearl yet. I don't remember exactly where the pearl is, so if someone would like to help with that, that would be great. Just let me know where it's at. I know it's in this area. And I know you need one of the clams in order to find it. So you may notice the characters say rock on. That's because in Japan they say it's called the rock system, not the mega system. Both have acronyms, by the way. No, I don't remember what they are. That's just kind of a ongoing thing with this series. I know it has a thing, and then I don't know exactly what the thing is. Yep. There's the cold pearl. I believe that despawns. Oh, nope, not all the clams yet. Now all we gotta do is make it back to the city. Return the pearl. And that shouldn't take too awfully long. If Demon Dog is still watching, Red said he'll need to see it before he'll make a decision. Oh, I feel like I scared everybody off with Fursuit talk. Crap. Some of these will just give us E-crystals. Others will give us chip parts that'll actually increase our mobility, our power. Actually, HX is usually better in these scenarios. Our main goal now is just to get E-crystals, get chips, upgrade ourselves to the highest ability we can do at the moment. A lot of spots on the map that we haven't tried yet. We also haven't been through C3 or C1 over here. We also haven't moved that truck yet, which is something that we're gonna have to do. Check the trans server. Nearest one's up and over here. I do think the side quests are some of the more interesting things about these games. So there we just got E-crystals. Find the flower. I don't even have to hear the description. I know right where this one's at. It is the highest peak on the far left of the forest area. So we get more of this lovely remixed music, and I get to show off some really cool stuff with the foliage up here. Might be going, well, what's so great about the foliage? Well, when you have Model H, or Model F, sorry, I always mix these two up. You can also... Oh. I guess you... Oh. I could have sworn you could burn the forest in this game. Like in, MegaMan 7 with the Scorch Wheel. I guess I was mistaken. My bad. I think Mega Man 0 and ZX are some of the more interesting games to watch speedrunners play. Although I must say, I much prefer just playing it and having fun with it. Luckily with ZX, the game's not quite as difficult as 0, so it's not too bad to jump into it. And that's something else that we should really be thanking Capcom for, is all the easier difficulty options that the 0ZX collection has. Because a lot of people's main reason for not touching 0 and ZX has been, oh, the games are too hard. The fact that that doesn't have to be, it doesn't have to be that way is good. Hello, KE949, welcome. There's the flower. And in here, more E-crystals, a crawl space, a data disk, and a bit of extra health. Alright. Make our way back to the city. You can actually look at the items that you collect. Quest for Michelle. The scent is quite refreshing. Tomorrow is going to be a very hectic day for me. But so, some of it I'm going to do tonight, which is camera setup, getting my suit ready to go. And who knows, we might play more than just Castlevania 1. Transport to town. Luckily, spawning in the town is actually makes it a lot easier to get to places nearby. Let's see, it wasn't you. I don't think there was anybody in here, although it might. This person. Nope. I can never remember where I got the quest from, except for that pearl for some reason. But hey, whatever shall I do? She didn't want a flower. The guy on top of this building didn't want anything. You, perhaps? Do all their work? That's a good question. Fantastic questions from the random lady in MegaMan ZX. Who would let a child do random dangerous work? I can tell you who, but I'm not going to. Alright, time to make our way back this way. As you can see, I could get up there as well in just a moment once I stop the beeping. Accept our next mission. More energy crystals, mission request. Answer the quiz for You's little brother. I'll take the mission. Quizzes aren't too hard, and this one's not too hard to get to. If I remember correctly, there is something on top of that building that we want. Yep. Another data disk. Oh man. Chat has been very quiet today. Quizzes aren't easy. Okay, I believe he's behind this door? No. I like that the name for the other character is Lou, and he's dressed like Luigi. C3? Yep. There is a place to play games in Area C2. What is the name of the game to the far right in that place? So, I am actually going to look up an answer sheet for the quiz, because I am a filthy cheater. And you can call me out in the chat if you want, or in the comments below, after the stream is done being live. There's another quiz in this game, if I remember correctly. Some of these side quests, by the way, are only for Vent or only for Ale. Fine. Dribble Trouble is our first answer. So our next part of this is going to be going back to back this way. I'm telling you, movement is just so much fun in this game. Another quiz is to be had. Easy peasy. Luckily, there's a mission request machine right next to him. Another quiz. Check the chat. Nope, everything seems to be going good. We're on just side quests now for a little while before we finish up. Giant tree growing in Area 3. What type is it? It's an apple tree. Don't let old Jack beat you. Oh boy. Got a pink crystal. Jack is in C1. We want to take this crystal right to him. This is Robert. Maybe he'll have something for us. Ooh, teaching somebody how to clean. Can do that. I could do that quite well, actually. If you don't know what I mean by that, I used to work at a restaurant. I had to teach a lot of young kids how to clean and keep a restaurant maintained. I heard it was in C1. Old man near the green door. So, I remember correctly, the green door's over here, right? Hand it over the pink crystal. You got an ice boots chip. No! Chips! This is a system I haven't mentioned. Most people will go their entire playthrough without knowing that chips are back from from Zero. So this will let you walk across ice without slipping on the surface, so no more weird slowdown when walking on ice. And then we're gonna go back over this way, because there's one more quiz to do. Think. Apple, take clearing it, take it. Spike ice. Nope. Alright. Luckily we've got a mission request machine nearby, so we don't have to fight ourselves too hard here. mission requests. I wish you could just take the missions from the menu. And I think with ZX3 that would be a really cool thing to do. Of course, I'd still like Inti Creates to develop it, but I do think Capcom would do a much nicer job. Especially if they stuck with the sprite style design of this game. So. Our main goal is to get all of these down to the down into the lowest room here. Mission step complete. Hello, Andre the Kangaroo. Welcome. I am going to take a look at what missions do what and where to get them, because I do only really want the chips from all of these. Chip. Alright. X1, old man to the east of the data room. Well, I don't believe... Like, we've been to Area X, I believe. Yep. Okay, mission requests. We'll do the Find the Boy mission. Where the fire broke out, so... to see the fire. So that'll be off in Area G. Isn't too hard to get to. Sorry for the lack of commentary, folks. I don't know what to talk about. I'm trying to think here. But I got really nothing. I hope everybody's been enjoying Octobervania. It's been quite fun for me, although... I do know that, I do know getting around to finishing videos is going to be a rough thing this month, so... So, near where the fires broke out, there should be a kid. Not really a great spot for a kid to hang out, if I'm going to be honest. I would say where is his parents, but the parent is, I believe, the one who sent us on this mission, so... At least she knew the risks. Back there. Maybe it's out in the next screen, and if not, we'll just work our way up and around. Check each area thoroughly. I do like that the city is based on the Frostman city in the background. However, it's not the same city. It can't be over so many years later. And that's something else that some people don't really realize when they're looking at these places in these games. You can connect them, absolutely, but you gotta also remember that things change over years and years and years. So the city in Frostman stage, while referenced and stuff, it was destroyed at the start of X4, so it's not really like I can go, oh yes, and it's the exact same city here, because no, it's not. It was destroyed. It's gone. That's... Alright, so it's gotta be in the building, if I remember correctly. I've done most of these missions before in the past, so... I'm not really that surprised that I don't remember them. Nothing there. Might be another one where I have to look at the guide real quick. I'm not going to be really using the guide for much more. Oh, well, found him. So we gotta find the kids. Tell them to go home. Just dilapidated buildings is no place to hang out. So. Just because you can doesn't mean you should. But we'll find all sorts of stuff. 6. Nothing in there. Nobody in here. The hardest thing to find are right over your nose. So, right over my nose. Probably right under is what they meant. But we'll give it a gander. Maybe it did say under and I'm misreading, which happens a lot more often than I'd like to admit. One kid was in here. Nobody in there. Which means it's probably one in the... right up here in floor 6. No? Probably hiding in a corner somewhere. I once remembered one of my friends found me when I'm playing hide and seek because he followed the vents. Heard me laughing. Bon is the name of his cousin, which I don't think it means that they're related to the Bonds, because, you know, that's a long time later, but... maybe. And they won't give you any hints for the last guy. Luckily, they're all in the building, so it's not too bad, but it does mean you have to wait through a lot of loading zones if you don't know where they're at. And you do have to find them in order. Luckily, this shouldn't be too bad. So tomorrow we're doing a live action thing. Essentially I'm going to be in Fursuit, hanging out, talking with you guys. My VTuber model will be replaced with me in suit, so should be an interesting time. It'll be a different sort of way to watch what I do. Might even have to bring my mic around. Mineral. Find fried screws. Find. Alright, found him. Figured out where he's at. Oh no, that's never fun. I'm sorry. Wiring and stuff is always a pain in the butt. B1 in the lower right corner and right outside the building leading into the stairwell area. Okay.
4-7, 4-5, 4-7. B1F. Floor. A lower right corner, but that's the lower left corner. Oh, this is... Well, I thought I found him, but didn't. The final one says... right outside the building. Oh, wait. Maybe they want me to do... maybe they want me to use Model H and then go up here. And just like that, we get another chip. I think that might be a good idea. With how many issues you've had with lights. Like, there's a reason I went with computer fans with durable USB ends. That way then the wiring was already in, which is insulated thinly, is now thicker, you know. I got braided cables to make sure they didn't break on me. So, I do wish you luck in finding LEDs with, you know, a good amount. And if you can, please, send them my way. Like, send me a link if you can find some. Because I do want to do something else interesting with Presto. Make the heart glow a little bit. Throw people off. Just every now and again. When we get all giddy, just, like, make it glow or something. Of course, that would require, like, a little switcher or something. I'm technical enough, and I'm savvy enough, I'm sure I can make it work. Having the fast travel helps, but... definitely takes out the fun of doing the side quests in between the main quests. Luckily, while the quests are annoying sometimes, they're not too bad. Actually, I think most of the side quests here are rather tame compared to something like, say, some of the quests in Zelda and whatnot. I think it was a crystal. After clearing this mission, make sure to talk to the first boy you see inside a room staring from the west end of C1. So... First kid, C1. Okay. They said the first kid, but... You got bread. Maybe it's in this building here. Okay, well there's another quest. Alright, maybe it's in here then. Kick the can. That's a reference to Mega Man Legends. Get the frog chip. Reduces the speed of sliding down walls. That is quite a bit slower, so now we can make more precise actions off the walls. It is always good to check out every room in here. Amusement park. Okay. Double checking, triple checking, just to make sure that we're not doing anything else. The Skibidi Editor, welcome back. You absolutely did, but welcome back. The streams are always up, so you can watch them later. I highly recommend doing so because, you know, YouTube does keep all the streams up as videos, so. It does make it a lot easier if people go back and watch them. I never expect anybody to catch everything, so. Right now, we're just doing a bunch of side quests, so. Before we fully continue and make any commitment to what we're doing next. Tomorrow, I'm going to be in suit doing, with a camera on me, so tomorrow's going to be interesting, and I highly recommend showing up early to it, because it'll be good. You got a cake. Fear of the dark. Okay. Don't really have much of a way. I suppose just night lights. There is a way to push that truck off of there. Although I do not remember how. Check in here. Just always good to double check and double back. Talk to NPCs multiple times if you must. It's an athlete. Okay. Okay. It's always good just to double check and make sure that there's not some quest you need to do for them. Even if you've already done a quest, they might have another one, so it's always good to check. Once again, we're not going to do every quest in the game, but I do want to do quite a bit. Called MegaMan Spider-Man? That's... what? Okay. I mean... I suppose? What? I'm confused. Fiddlesticks. Oh gosh. Can we just start bringing back like old-timey speak, like fiddlesticks and stuff? Like it's dumb, absolutely. But it's more fun that way. When something is just dumb, it's more fun. Looks like we've gotten most of the side quests that find the purse. I don't know why this doesn't use the English translation for this, like, find her bag! I'm like, that's not... Dropped at Area B in the Mountain Pass. We will take that. Be located in Area B2. I don't think I've been up here. I haven't. Alright, well, there's that. Now he's Captain America. He definitely has an imagination. That's what I would say. Right, so... Says it's an area B2 on a ledge. That we're gonna need... Which means it'll probably be up here. That looks like it. Even more words that just mean bag. Alright, now we need to find Luca. So we're looking for a girl to give her the bag back. I believe it's the one in this building. So you can actually change AL's sprite colors. After clearing this mission. However, I don't think Vent gets that luxury, so... That is a shame, but that's one of the benefits of playing as the other. Alright, we're gonna go ahead and save. A lot of the other missions are gonna be up on, up in Area X. So let's go up to Area X and upgrade some of our biometals, shall we? Oh, well, if you want to type out the question, you can, I can always answer about why I, explained what I knew. Well, feel free to just ask me. I'm always down to answer questions, especially from younger viewers. But why am I playing it? It's because I love this series, and this month's October, in October I play Metroidvanias, and this counts as a Metroidvania. Even though it may not look it, there's a lot of stuff to do, there's side quests. It's a game series I want more people to play and, you know, give it a shot. Especially because these collections go for pretty cheap when they're on sale. And it would mean the world to me if we can get new MegaMan games. Just going through so we don't have any more new data discs. And as you can see, we got all of the others. The plushie blinks. And of course we got Geo. Alright, time for a cutscene. Alright, now we have a very interesting artist interpretation of Dr. Weil. And his laser. Later, yeah. All memories of those moments after our creation were erased. And with that, we can now move onward to the final area. Of course, in the background now, we now have a... So, the plushie room, as you can see, Model H is up there. That is because we, or one of the Model H's is up there. It's because we did a level 4 defeat on them. If we can do that with the rest of them, they'll show up in that room as little plushies. There's one mission. Essentially, we're going to run through here, get the rest of the missions, and then the final part of this will be... The final part of this is going to all be about getting everything we've missed. Little M tank in the background. We got smelling salts. He thought it was neat, he replied. He does have a short attention span being younger. Oh, of course. Absolutely. Luckily, most Mega Man games are rather short as well, so it makes it easy for me to showcase. This is just one of the longer ones where it's like, oh, it'll take me 2 or 3 days to beat. If I was just rushing to the end, though, I could probably have this game done in about 3 hours. Did that, they patched up a hole down here. Almost every stream this week has gone on a little longer than it's supposed to. But side quests and finishing the game will be next time. So there might be a spoiler in the thumbnail. Of course, going on a bit longer for me doesn't do that much. It does help me with my audience watch time. Me personally, it's just something I gotta do. Got a new eraser chip. So the eraser chip allows for sword swipes to get rid of shots. That's going to be very helpful going forward. Now you can get most of these just by talking to these guys throughout the game, and then they'll say new stuff as you go. That's why I'm having to hit them multiple times and double check that they are on repeat dialogue. Featherweight chip. This will stop crumbling blocks from going underneath us. So essentially, we are lighter now. These are all chips that you can get in Mega Man Zero. The Zero games have all of these. But some of the classic games do as well, and so do some of the X games. So... Alright. Goods there. this floor up to next. There's another side quest. Here. Side quest there. You can do, but he's rooting for us, which is good. He's got a side quest. Honestly, doing all the side quests, this will be a first for me. There's also, I believe, 8 extra bosses that we can do at the end, as well as Omega, so next part definitely will still be jam-packed with content. So, just so I can finish up here soon, because we've now got quite a bit of grunt work to get done. So, we've gotten a couple of the chips. We've got Featherweight, Ice Boots, Frog, Eraser. But there are more chips. There's the Absorber, which I need to go to area C2. So there's the Absorber, there's Featherweight. Absorber will help. There is the Extender, which Quick Charger, there's all sorts of chips. I'm definitely gonna have one heck of a time trying to get all of these. That was one of my old goals when I had this, when I played this on the DS originally. I say when I had it, but I still have it. Okay, that person didn't have anything. So, essentially, one of my older goals was, finish all the side quests, get all the chips and stuff. And now I actually have a chance to do all of this on stream and with proof that I've done it legitimately. You got the Absorber chip. So, it'll cushion a blow, so no more knockback when we get hit. We already got Featherweight, but Extender, we gotta find the rock. It's a sub-quest that we got earlier. Quick Charge, which is extremely helpful. Which we can actually get that one right now. Wind Boots, which, once again, another side quest we have to do. We already have the Ice Boots, we have the Frog, we have Eraser. But that is all of the chips. So, we're gonna go back to Area X, get the final set of chips, final chip we can get for today, and then we'll come back to it. You're still alive? Yes, I am. Hi, how you doing, Nocturne? Or Lipotrophic? Nocturne, fuck it, Lipotrophic. Lycan. I can't speak words. Quick Charger chip. But I've decided to turn this into as much of a 100% run as I can. Nox, Luna, Lycan, any Sven Lycan. I'm bored. I can't. I don't know if we're gonna get all of these, but we are really, really close, and at this point, I might as well. So, we're turning this into a bit of a 100% run, minus all level 4 victories. And even then, who's to say? I just don't want to. I don't want this to end. I want to keep playing. But our main thing right now is trying to get all of the chips. As you can see, quick charge helps out a ton, and I don't know why I haven't gone and gotten it sooner. Now, if I go in here. Stop the dig, purify the lake, sending a letter, find the rock, gather the screws, deliver the aid kit. So all of these are... We're going to do all of these, and then stop the dig on our third part for next week. Because, you know, I'm about at 3 hours. I'm about at my limiting point. Truman's going to be home soon, and I've got to get started on other recording bits. So... Honestly, we're making good time. We do have a lot of content left to show. Stuff like the extra Game Boy Advance bosses from 03 and 04. Stuff from the other side quests, the rest of the chips, the rest of the sub-tanks, and the final life tank. And then also trying to get Model O and Model X, but I think we're just going to be able to get a Model Omega, so... With all that being said, thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this, please drop a like, subscribe, send this video over to a friend. It would help out tremendously. You can follow me on Twitter at GavinDragonYT. Of course, we've also moved to Blue Sky now, so you can follow me on there and at GavinDragon. You can donate to the PayPal link on your screen in the description below, but all I ask is that you guys subscribe, leave a like, and share this video with a friend. I've got lots of other content planned. And tons of content already up. So, with all that being said, I've been your humble host. Good night, everybody.